My colleagues here have heard me talk various times about the Gateway program. It is Gateway aims to modernize the rail infrastructure connecting New Jersey to New York Penn Station. It's a critical stretch of track that carries over 200,000 daily Amtrak and New Jersey Transit passenger trips on approximately 450 trains. It's a linchpin of the entire Northeast Corridor going from Boston to Washington, a region that accounts for 20% of our national gross domestic product. So I'm pleased to see the Biden administration included $700 million for the Hudson River tunnels in the President's fiscal year 24 budget request. Hopeful that the project can move into the engineering phase of the Capital Investments Grants Program in the very near future. I raise this because I often talk about Gateway and the projects of this scale as having a national significance, because they do. But they also have major impacts on the ground in providing safe, reliable, and accessible service to communities. So, Mr. McMillan, first of all, my thoughts and prayers are with your member who got stabbed yesterday, and just highlights some of the discussion you were having before about that this is a job that is critically important to move people, but is also can be risky. So we are in solidarity with you there. Can you speak for a moment about what these types of major infrastructure projects and the federal investment that comes with them means to your members on the ground?
Yes, well, for our members, it is the funding that can come in. We don't have to. I don't have to, as a president, when I negotiate a contract, continue to have to go to them and tell them that, hey, the reason why the company is saying that your safety isn't important because they can't afford it. You know, we're tired of hearing that they have to cut service. When you cut service, it impacts the public. If you get an angry passenger to get on a bus, the first person that they see, they want to take it out on a bus operator. So if this funding can come in so that these services don't have to be cut, procurement, when you're waiting on parts for buses to be fixed, so you don't have as many buses on the street, which also causes service cuts. The first person, again, that they see when a bus is late, they take it out on the bus operator. Mm-hmm. So our members will not have to have that interaction with the riding public and get into these altercations. So it'll be safe for them, and also for those who are riding, they'll get to these good paying jobs. They'll also be able to get there on time and keep their jobs.
Thank you. Now, I've been an advocate of transit-oriented development because I've seen the transformative effects it can have on communities stretching back to the time that I was mayor. When properly planned and executed, transit-oriented development can bring significant new investment to communities, providing new economic opportunities for families and business owners while ensuring affordable housing for residents and encouraging the use of public transit. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act expanded a TOD pilot program that I helped create several years ago. So, Ms. Birdsong-Terry, I understand that the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority has received 2 of these grants in the past, one as recently as last November. Can you discuss how these investments have made communities a much more vibrant place to live?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate the question. To your point, those TOD projects are imperative, especially in cities that have an urban core as well as a rural impact. If I can give a quick statistic, I actually asked our Deputy General Manager of HR to pull a couple records before I came here to find out just what the impact was for those folks that lived in Cuyahoga County and then those outside of it. We have roughly about 2,100 employees, and 600 of those live outside of Cuyahoga County. And I mention that because those men and women are part of the force that create those TOD projects. So we're actually investing in the generational wealth of the state, well beyond the urban core. When you get into those kind of projects, such as the West 25th BRT program and the Slavic Village, those are just a couple of programs. We have a 79th Street Opportunity Corridor support where there's $1 billion that have been poured into that particular investment area. These are a lot of what would be traditionally called blighted areas by urban planners. I'm an urban planner by trade and then got into transportation and have worked every shift that probably is known to man. So understanding how this creates opportunities, especially for the youth, is really important. Cleveland has a literacy rate that probably is around the 60 as far as those individuals that need to be able to understand the importance of an education, and being able to have access to that is vital. I'd also mention the paratransit community that we serve is really important as well. Our board chair, Reverend Charles Lucas, is actually a paraplegic, has been that way for about 18 years, and he depends on our service to take him in and around the city, and is quite frankly probably one of the most active board chairs I've ever experienced. And being able to provide that is essential.
So economic opportunity is something that really is part of the equation of these transit-oriented developments.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll submit a question to the record on flexibility on operating funds and how it would affect you. And the chairman has asked me to recognize Mr. Vance, Senator Vance.
Actually, sir, it's Senator Tillis is next.
Okay, well then, Senator Tillis.
Thank you.
Sorry, JD.